fast and young. The price of being black in suburbia. Daddy.
Hello, all my beautiful supporters and listeners. Welcome to my podcast called Let Loose, where I'm your host, Savannah Kaikai. We'll be talking about different problems that we face every single day as college students and teenagers and even middle schoolers. Shoot, I don't know. So, I have been getting a lot of DMs and a lot of emails about this specific topic that I wanted to talk to y'all about. And what have y'all been interested in towards it? It is titled The Price of Being Black in Suburbia. We're basically going to be talking about how being black in a PWI or as a person of color just doesn't always quite feel right. Shout out to my girl SZA for the title. I'll be hitting some of the main points as being an outcast, how it feels to have FOMO and when you don't fit in a PWI, self-doubt, finding some type of balance and sense of self within who you are and who you want to be, and basically just being a change and how you can be a change internally and externally when you reach college. So let's get started. What exactly does a PWI really stand for? I got this from Google, I'm not gonna lie, but what Google has says is that a PWI is a term that refers to a college or university where the majority of students or faculty are white. That basically sums it up mainly. A PWI is basically just a institution, mainly just universities that are over the 50% population or more is white. Now, I wanted to make this podcast to direct it towards the black community because I am a part of that community, and I just wanted to give them a little bit of a safe space to talk about who they are and how it feels to be here. I personally have struggled with this since I got here. I'm a freshman at Westchester University. I came here mainly for the track and field team. I am a thrower on the track and field team, and some of my different experiences there have been a little difficult. It hasn't been bad or anything, like nobody's treating me bad, but it's been a little difficult. As a black woman, I feel like I have to constantly uphold this image for myself and for others because, we have to deal with being strong all the time. We have to deal with a lot of the time where we have to put on this facade that we don't have pain and we don't have struggle. America has a lot of dark history, especially in slavery, of this concept that black women don't feel pain, from doctors testing on us and doing things like that. They make it seem like we are just these creatures that are inseparable from the idea of pain. Another thing that I've had to deal with being on the track team is code switching. I mean, who the freak isn't familiar with code switching? You have to code switch with professors, your parents, your friends. If you want to get hired, you got to code switch. Sort of like a survival tactic that we use. And we feel that we use this because, way of, feeling safe in ourselves. And I feel like if we were to just talk regular towards white people, they would kind of look at us different, and we wouldn't be attributed the opportunities that are given to us when we code switch. Now, that's something I have to do in track all the time, not for them, but for myself, to lessen the tension between us that could happen if I wasn't to code switch. Now, lastly is the community that I don't feel like I constantly have. And that could also be because I haven't been here for that long. It hasn't even been 2 months, really. And I feel like being in a community, PWI, where you can't necessarily relate to them all the time because of how they grew up or because of the color of their skin, which can be a good and bad thing. Community is important. And not seeing your community can, especially when you're seeing people who have this privilege that you don't understand, or you have something that they don't understand. It's like a battle when you don't have your community with you. But without further ado, I'm going to introduce 3 different individuals. So, without further ado, introduce
On the golf course.
Lovely to meet you.
Okay, so how old are you?
I'm 18, and I'm a freshman, but, I like to think that I'm more mature.
Okay. So, what made you choose your PWI?
What made me choose Westchester is I wanted to get away from the city. I'm from New York, and so like there was a lot going on socially. There was a lot going on in like my personal life, and I just felt like I really needed an escape from that. Yeah.
Okay, that's understandable. And how has your experience been for you so far since you've been in Westchester?
I mean, it's definitely been a change. It's definitely
Yeah.
been a change. There's like not a lot of things that are the same as New York. It's like a culture shock almost because when you grow up in New York, like everything's like at your disposal. But when you're here, it's like you
It's
gotta
like kind of.
more boring.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't.
Especially as a black man too.
Especially
like,
as a black man.
yeah, you kind of just feel like an outcast. So.
Yeah, and speaking of outcasts, how has it been settling in for you? Have you felt any type of FOMO or any type of feeling, like you said, outcast feeling, especially being a black queer man in Westchester?
Yeah. I feel as if it's harder to relate to the people around me because I grew up with significant amount of experiences that a lot of children growing up in like suburbia or rural areas don't get to experience. And so when you have those experiences and you're trying to connect with someone on that kind of level, it's harder because they haven't developed themselves or their identity in a way
Yeah.
that's like able to connect with you on that level. Yes.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I know you brought a poem in. Would you like to read it for us?
I would love to. It goes like this. I wake up every day and prepare myself to enter a different world. You see, I've been granted the privilege to cross the tracks, to see life outside of my humble view of Brooklyn. I take on a role and I play it well amongst my audience, how they are captivated by my performance, how they adore my display. A proper peacock, I am to fluff my tail and amaze the gallery of my captor's menagerie. I wake up every day and prepare myself to enter this very different world where privilege is handed down like my hand-me-down shoes, where success is passed along with every affirming word. I mingle and jibe with a crowd that knows I am not one of them, a perfectly fluffed peacock to serve at the pleasure of the bourgeoisie. It is different from mine, this world. What hopes could I have at being seen as equal, being seen as the same, when all I can be is fluffed and plucked and poked and prized, the fluffed and vibrant peacock?
I do like that. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
I resonate with the little peacock myself. I feel like we all kind of do. So
Yeah.
that was a great point you
Yeah.
made there.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you have for us today?
I mean, my experience here, one thing I've learned is that you really just got to keep pushing.
Yeah.
You've got to be yourself authentically. And that's the only way you could actually reach out and find those connections.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. Thank you for having me.
Of course, it was lovely having you too.
I'm a bag. They've been plotting on me, so I'm waiting.
Back from my interviewer, I never really got the chance to look at my college in the light that I did. I can say that I'm really happy that I did because even outside of the podcast, after we recorded everything, I was able to look at it in a different light. I feel like I kind of not looked at it in a negative way, but looked at it in a way where it can be strain than or like a liability than an ability. Like me, also Amia M.A. Boyaik, one tells you how to survive in life. It's about basically being a person in the PWI, person of color, and they essentially talk about what it feels like to feel isolation and self-hatred altogether. So not just me, but a lot of people around the world who do go to PWIs that are people of color feel this way. But I wanted to really sit here and allow my audience to know that it is okay to feel this way, and there's always a way out of it. To conclude, I'm so happy that I was able to bring my friend on here to talk to you guys a little bit about it. And I can't wait to see you guys on my next episode.
Internationally, late night on the golf course. Get party till the cops came and we ran for They've been plotting on me, so I'm waiting.